8 for Miles.
They've got eyes in the back of their head on this team.
Turnover,
And quickly
boy.
for unanswered for the Irish. TCU throws it right into the arms on the save of Hidalgo.
Turnover.
Down Main Street, got the layup. And just like that, what was a 2-possession game is now 10.
Turnovers.
Irish up double digits. Connor got to the basket, just couldn't
And they
finish
get
with the
out
left.
and go. They get out
Danger zone
and
for
go.
TCU. Citron. Connor got it poked away from behind. This time,
One thing
Hidalgo
about Notre Dame, though,
knocking it to Prosper.
they got to learn how to
13th TCU
to
turnover.
put that dagger in them. Like,
Miles
really kill
step
them.
into the
Like,
basket around
step
Prince.
on them
New
and don't look
largest
back.
lead for the Irish.
Because even
It's
with
at
USC,
14.
they didn't really press on the the gas until like super late.
And
It was
Van
like
Lith quickly
6,
with a
7
response
minutes
back
left,
to 12.
and then they started pressing on the
Bring
gas
baskets
against
isn't going to
USC.
do it, though.
They hang
Two
around this
big-time
10
plays,
plus
both Miles and Van Lith with the
range,
hezzy.
man. They gotta
Gets the
go.
defender off
Let's go
just
put
to
them down
pause
20
and both
early
able
in the
to finish
third
off the glass.
and make them want to quit, and
Van
make
Lith
our
now
fourth
with
way
8.
easier.
Who makes a big play? She comes right back. She had the drive. What was a few minutes ago?
But we got ball game.
Emanopu with a big
We got
triple.
ball game.
And TCU
What a
has
big
the lead.
shot.
We got a ball game. Alright, since we just tuned into the Notre Dame USC game, I want to see Notre Dame play again. Because that was the first time I saw Notre Dame play. So we about to watch them play again against TCU. Haley Van Lith and them
Defensive
girls.
rotations if they
Which
double team
TCU
or if they
been
play
looking-
one-on-one on
looking
Sedona
good, too.
Prince.
So we
I'm
gonna
gonna
see
be
what they
watching
look
their
like.
defensive action because when Notre Dame plays great defense, they get
They
out
gonna
in
look good,
transition
too. Let me
offense, and there's
see.
nothing better
All
for
right.
Notre Dame than the fast break.
Billy Smith,
They
Talisa Green,
like to
Cynthia Doe are officiating crew this afternoon. And a little too easy for the 6'7" Sedona Prince winning the
Notre
tap.
Dame still ain't fully held it. The what is it? Her name Maddie or
And a man for the
the
Irish
big
here
one of
early
the
on.
bigs.
TCU off to that 6-0 start. Played on Sunday, had a blowout win against Idaho State. And the start that they're looking for from the
They ain't in that
outside.
daggone high school gym.
Big knocking down the 3. So 3-0 in favor of the Horned Frogs.
Trey
And
ball.
quickly match. Miles wasting no time. Knotted up. And back and forth. I feel like we're going to see a lot of that, Ann.
That's right. These are two of the top scoring offenses in the nation. They can do it from the outside, the inside. It's going to be a fun one, and you can already see that with a couple of 3 buckets dropping down in the Cayman Islands.
Hidalgo long on that triple. Rescued by Leah to King. Entry down low for Koval. And they'll say last touch by the Irish.
So, Austin, investors are not buying. The average person can't afford to buy. So what's the solution?
Year number 2 at the helm for Mark Campbell. Part of what was the largest win improvement of any Power 6 program from a year ago, in which he started 4 transfers. They've gone all in on the portal. And big concentration of what they do is, again, bringing in transfers and getting as much production as you could possibly ask for. Miles comes out of the melee with the basketball. Minute and a half in and a triple for each team. Into the teeth of the defense. King gets fouled. Welcome sign for this Notre Dame coaching staff and Neil Ivey. In year number 5 at South Bend, owner of 94 wins, got to an Elite 8 a year ago. And one of the best point guards ever to grace South Bend with her presence. Both free throws for King, who was just a 36% free throw shooter coming in. And Miles comes away with the basketball. Citron running the break and off the window. Van Lith penetrating pitch to Bigby, who already has the triple. Shot clock inside 10. And lost out of bounds. TCU turns it over for the third time.
Just a smart heads
Early
up play by the
turnovers,
Irish
boy.
there during the loose
Same
ball,
thing
being
USC
able
did.
to set the trap and cause the turnover heading the other direction.
Rotation for Niele Ivey that goes about 7
Ooh.
deep. Koval off target and offensive rebound. King, second chance. That one hit the bottom of the rim. Third chance. Shot clock back inside 20.
Finish.
And
On the finish.
Hidalgo. TCU in at 86 a game with the win over what was then 13th ranked NC State on their resume from a few weeks back. Both the athletic department and the fan base talked to him earlier this week. Very excited about the way things are going, and why wouldn't they be?
In
Open
and
look,
out.
in and out. And rebound controlled by the Horned Frogs. Big B steps into another one. And off the mark. Just a 1 for 5
Ooh,
start
good
from the
move.
field for TCU.
Uh-oh.
Miles using every inch of that baseline. Hidalgo
Good
right up into the
finish.
lift, wins the battle.
Good finish.
4 for Hannah Hidalgo.
We called her fiery before the game, and that's what she does. She has a lot of energy, but just has to put it in the right place.
Don't put what?
Yeah, I'm
Is she
sure has
talking
had
about
this one
Hannah
marked on the
Hidalgo?
calendar for a while. And down the lane, Connor.
Putting it in the right
It's
place.
the three-point
See,
threat,
I don't
that
like.
time
I
off
don't-
the bounce.
I'm a hush, man. I don't like that, dog, man. Give me that energy, man. That fire.
And
I
that's the
like
kind of
that.
plays that
Back to
TCU
six.
Talk that
wants
stuff
from,
on that court,
from
man.
Connor,
You
because
hooping.
they're so used to closing out on her on that three-point line, but her being able to take it off the bounce shows that she's dynamic, and they're going to
Bigby hit that first one, hasn't since. Hidalgo scooping that one. Second personal, by the way, on Van Lith. Picked one up fairly early into the game. Coach Ivey looks on. Sorry, Ann.
And for both teams, Matt, one of the things we're going to key in is watching the fouls. Excellent defensive transition by Notre Dame. All 5 players are back.
Connor in and out. And rebound run down by Hidalgo, creating numbers. And drop the feed off. And Irish get a layup.
There was just 2
Prosper.
excellent plays in a row between the defensive transition, everyone matching up, and then closing out for that defensive rebound to get their offensive transition. Notre Dame is playing both ends of the floor really well. TCU has got to start attacking and getting into the paint so they can get to the free throw line, get some of their top players, just like Big B did right there. And you have a player that comes in and just does all the little things well, tipping the ball, playing defense, getting those offensive rebounds. It's a good sign for TCU. They can get a lot of action from other players on the roster.
Miles got fed. Or make it Prosper. And ended up losing it. And then King out of bounds. 8-point lead for Notre Dame that's been as many as 10.
And that's why she had that room
Good shot.
for that mid-range jumper. For TCU to keep chipping away, those are the kind of plays because they do a lot of pick and roll options in their offense. And that's what they need from Van Lith and Simons.
Connor off the bounce.
Are you tired of seeing ads everywhere? What if I
Okay.
told you that pie not only
I got 2 questions. One,
It's action here
was
by
this shot on
TCU,
flow?
screening
Is that
that
the track
slot area,
platform?
and they're going shoulder to shoulder,
And
which is giving them
2,
just enough space and able to draw one on
is that the
Koval, which
girl
is going to be
from, I
big
think,
if they get
Duke?
Koval into foul trouble.
Last
She's
year?
been standing in the paint, just using her size,
That's on
contesting
TCU?
shots on every time. So great drive there by Connor. The last couple of plays have worked for the Horned Frogs of going shoulder to shoulder on those screens.
First quarter where neither team has really shot the ball all that well. Irish have opened up only 33%.
Yeah, number 1, I think. That's the
Hidalgo
girl
trying
from
to change
Duke
that. That'll
or
help.
Ohio State. I can't remember. I think it's Duke.
8 now for Hannah Hidalgo, matches the Notre Dame lead. Got a 5-second, make it 4-second to change differential between shot and game clock.
What a pass.
Extra pass, yeah, down low, Prince. Everything but the finish, and then the tie-up. 6.2 to go. Miles the one to trigger the inbounds. King, with inside 5 seconds, cans the G. And a double-digit lead is where Notre Dame will shut this first period. Now at Notre Dame, and one of the best players in the country. Even back then, called the One. And O'Neal, how about it?
Well, at 5'6", and you learn to play against your 3 older brothers day in and day out. Her dad was even an AAU and high school coach. So she grew up playing against the boys, and she learned, you know, that last jumper that we got to see before the quarter, that's what she's so good at. She reads the space and she rises up in her frame. She's so quick, and she's been working on her left hand and her three-pointer in the offseason.
That midi killer though,
Bounce
boy.
game here for Connor. TCU trying to dig out of this 10-point hole. They're going to say it's out on Koval.
Rona Prince and 6'5" Kate Koval in that low block. I'd love to see Prince take it a little bit more physical at her, use maybe one of her up and under moves.
Just goes right at her.
Man. Two bad calls back to back.
Out on here early in the second quarter is key. But what Prince did there was used her muscle weight.
Maddie Westbell dealing with what's a foot injury, expected to be back around the start of ACC play. KK Brandford ended up redshirting because of a lower leg. And then they lost Kylie Watson to an ACL. And, of course, Carlin as well, who's week to week with a foot injury.
Oh, God.
Glad you're along with us here on this Black Friday. Hope you got your shopping done, if that's what you decided to do today. Matt Martucci and O'Neal. TCU giving it away again.
Good. Hey.
Hidalgo shouldering in, score it off the window, +1.
Crossover and reading space, because that's what she's had to learn all her life, playing at that shorter level. And with Haley Van Lith, that's her 3rd foul. I see TCU is going to have to switch up their defense and their matchups. She's going to have to take a break now with those 3 fouls.
One more. Good movement.
And this back down to
ball
9.
Movement. I ain't gonna go.
A frustration clap there
for
Madison Connor afterwards. Come on, let's go.
Well, if she gets hot.
Oh, she wide open.
Hidalgo rattles home the triple. Largest lead grows now to 12 for the Irish. 14 first half points for Hidalgo. And Koval, I think, might have taken an elbow. Connor bangs 3. And this back down to 9. A frustration clap there for Madison Connor afterwards. Come on, let's go.
Well, if she gets hot, she gets on fire. She is one of the top 3-point shooters in the nation.
After being an assistant in the NBA with the Memphis Grizzlies, that was during the 1920 season.
The 1920.
Hunter off target on the 3, tracked down, and Prince.
Oh, 2019.
Took Sacramento State to the NCAA tournament, school record for wins.
I don't want to live 9 to 5, paycheck to paycheck.
I wish I would have known this 20 years ago.
This is a hidden gem.
Is that me or did the volume go?
Doesn't have to block every
I was
one
about
of
to
them,
say
but
the volume.
she alters them with her size and her length. You saw that right there, getting a nice defensive possession for TCU.
Hidalgo jumped the passing lane. And Notre Dame back up 12.
She's so good at reading the play before it even happens. She's so deceptive and so quick right through those, getting those steals. I mean, she's #1 in the nation for steals, over 5 steals a game.
Good shot.
Big B off the penetrating pitch, gets this back to 9. There's been a lot of that, though. I mean, a lot of it is the way that Notre Dame plays defense. But TCU still hasn't really found its bearings.
Defense, she plays offense. That's why everyone is talking about her right now in women's basketball, one of the top players on both ends of the floor.
Prince, showing range.
I might have to
This is a
learn all
big
the
possession
names
now for
of
TCU.
TCU players.
Haven't really been able to get inside 6-7 points.
All I know is, hey, this Van
Hidalgo with
Lith
a miss. Van
and
Lith back
Shorty
in with the
that
3
I can't remember
personals.
what school she's from.
And Miles traveled. 7th Irish turnover. That Van Lith will trigger this 3.
Wide open.
And still 7-point game as Prince goes up, and there it is. Back to within possessions. It told us they don't really run a whole lot of sets. Just kind of lets his players be free-flowing on offense. Step back off the front of the rim for Citron. And there's Roberson down with a rebound and a dangerous outlet that Connor rescues.
TCU in the offseason studied a lot of NBA and WNBA offensive sets, and what they run is a lot of pick and roll, and especially with that big man, the 5 player like a Sedona Prince being in a lot of the actions, whether that's screening, whether that's handoffs.
Good
and you see
shot.
that with the facing up. Now,
That
they are a little bit more rhythm and flow.
all right.
Yeah, very impressed at 6'7" with her range. The
Huh.
ability to step
That
out the
looked
way
all
that
right.
she can.
And she long.
She hasn't hit a 3 yet this year, but I'm sure it's coming as Miles to 1. She's so fluid with that 3-point shot. She doesn't need much room to get it off.
Had the first Irish 3-pointer to open up the game to make it 3-3 and hadn't scored since. But it's a big one to push this Notre Dame lead back to 6. 2-second and change differential
She
shot.
like
game
to, she
clock.
like to get busy.
Prince operating.
Yeah, she like to get
Turnaround.
busy.
And maybe not her forte. Hidalgo on the final possession of the half. Steps through. And Notre Dame will go to the break.
Both improves, and we might have had that broadcast jinx because we're talking about what an offensive game this would be, but teams are locked in defensively, really working on their strategic plays and focused on that end.
They run pick and roll, and Prince executes. 16 seconds in, this is a 4-point game here in the 3rd quarter. Prince with 14, picking up where she left off in the 2nd. Citron airballs the mid-range.
Gotta follow through.
And Connor clears after the 1-and-done opening possession. Bigby
Yes.
long on her triple. Miles across her body.
Roll down, they had a little bit of space, but I bet we'll see them running that again and
Throw
again.
line 75%.
Two bricks.
In and out. So stuck in a 4-point game. Just a minute into the 3rd quarter. There it is again. Drop it off to the block. Koval stood her ground. Up on one leg. Prince.
So good, that one-legged jumper. She gets it blocked first by a call and goes, I'll take that space. Just fades away.
Do you know that can do that, just
I
maintain
don't
their
know.
composure and
She
say,
might
yeah,
have beat
you know what,
that.
here's a 15-footer for you.
Yeah, let me just actually fade away on this one off of 1 foot. It's an impressive play. And when you watch film on Sedona, whether it's in practice or in games, it is a move that she's been working on. She wants to be dynamic and multidimensional to be able to play at that next pro level. And she's starting to get a lot of attention by WNBA scouts out there.
She picked up the foul. You said maybe a little too pumped up. Hidalgo ends up making both free throws. Back to a 4-point game. Van Lith in that foul trouble, still yet to really get going. Just has 2 points. Has gotten her teammates involved plenty. Connor. And off target, Miles comes down with the rebound for the Irish. Largest lead for Notre Dame has been 12. So TCU winning some runs. But outside of that, tough sledding in the 1st quarter, came back in the 2nd well with Prince, and that's why we're at a 4-point game.
Good
Citron
shot.
got herself to the wing and bears the 3.
Well, they
Who wore
call her
that?
the silent assassin. She's one of the best two-way players in the nation, offensively and defensively. Good for Notre Dame to see her knock that long one down.
7 now for Sonia Citron. As Coach Campbell looks on, said, we've embraced the portal. Found a way to to compete in the modern day era of NIL. And no surprise, Van Lith and Sedona Prince, two of the best at it.
Because Connor is not the best defensive player on TCU's team. And so you got King. She was actually one of the unsung heroes in that first half. She had 7 points and 7 rebounds. She just does all the little things for the Fighting Irish. And she came here to Notre Dame after 4 years at Pittsburgh. And that just grows the game, right? It grows the women's game because we have a lot of people that want to see top matchups like that. And then it gets your team ready for what's going to come in conference play. You've got the ACC, you've got the Big 12 Conference, 2 top conferences for women's basketball. And then it all comes down to March Madness.
Hidalgo, look at that setup for Miles. Just tossed it over her head where she knew her teammate would be. 8 for Miles.
They've got eyes in the back of their head on this team.
Turnover,
and quickly
boy.
for an answer for the Irish. TCU throws it right into the arms on the save of Hidalgo.
Turnover.
Down Main Street, got the layup. And just like that, what was a 2-possession game is now 10.
Turnovers.
Irish up double digits. Connor got to the basket, just couldn't
And
finish
they get
with the
out
left.
and go. They get out
Danger zone
and
for
go.
TCU. Citron. And a point shy of their largest lead. 10 for Sonia Citron.
Notre
That's
Dame
her
just
second
so
three.
in that open court. If there's a loose ball, if there's a steal, if there's a defensive rebound, TCU has got to get back in matchups.
Connor using Prince. I think they'll call that a 2. That's what it is. Citron with 10. They've combined for 30 of the 48 from the L. Ivy's club. Miles got a good look. That's been such a much bigger part of her game than it was the last couple years. Has really worked to become an elite three-point shooter. Van Lith missed, but she's fouled.
Koval just enough to the side to be able to finish. I love the pick and roll action, and for Prince and Van Lith to really work their two-man action. Sometimes driving in the middle of the lane, Notre Dame is too quick with their hands and have gotten their hands on a lot of loose balls in there.
And TCU has cleaned up its turnovers a little bit from the first half, but Irish still forcing them into some here in the third quarter. Hidalgo.
That's a weak call,
Prosper
bro.
Gets to go to the free throw line.
Haven't talked about the sophomore from Montreal much today. Kassan Prosper, just the bucket in what's 14 minutes. 1 of 2 to the free throw line. Her best basketball, though, ahead of her after being limited by a lower leg injury a year ago, kept her season to what was just 5 games. Just so many pieces for this Irish squad.
We don't have enough time in the broadcast. We need multiple broadcasts for all these players and all the stats and accolades. And look at this transition again. Miles with a nice little loft pass all the way to Citron. And Notre Dame just knows to run out and transition because at any time you're going to get your quarterback Miles dropping you a dime.
Irish are back to their largest lead. Van Lith throwing the ball all over the place there. Got it deflected. Connor got it poked away from behind. This time,
One thing about Notre Dame, though,
knocking it to Prosper.
they gotta learn how to
13th TCU turnover.
Put that dagger in them, like
Miles
really kill them,
step into
like
the basket around
step
Prince.
on them
New
and don't look
largest
back.
lead for the Irish.
Because even
It's
with
at
USC,
14.
they didn't really press on the brake, the gas until like super late.
And
It was
Van
like
Lith quickly
6,
with a
7
response
minutes
back
left,
to 12.
and then they started pressing on the
Three
gas
baskets
against
isn't going
USC.
to do it, though.
They hang
Two
around this
big-time
10
plays,
plus
both Miles and Van Lith with the
range,
hezzy.
man. They gotta
Gets the
go.
defender off
Let's go
just
put
to
them down
pause
20
and both
early
able
in the
to finish
third
off the glass.
and make them want to quit and
Van
make
Lith
our
now
fourth
with
way
8.
easier.
Foul trouble, though, got her a little bit off her game as
Let's
Koval
let
gets
them
that
hang
blocked
around.
by Prince.
Hang around that 10-point mark. And 10 points in
See if
basketball.
the
it
energy
goes
picks up
too
for the
quick.
Horned Frogs.
Another
Van
one.
Lith to the
Good
basket.
move.
4 straight.
Good move.
And here comes TCU. Back to within 10. Now the question is, and can you string together consecutive stops?
Dang.
And yes, they can. That's a foul on Koval.
They've been screening Van Lith. She's been going over that screen to put pressure on Citron, and this time Koval gets called for the foul and has to take a seat.
Van Lith this time opposite side, and they'll give her the bucket plus the foul.
Van Lith can bring it too.
It's about to say somebody on that TCU staff on the baseline very fired up.
Oh, was it? Let me go back and look.
Van Lith
Opposite side.
ball gets called for the foul and has to take a seat.
Van
Oh,
Lith
yeah.
this time opposite side.
Purple shirt. She was lit.
Couldn't
Ooh,
get the
good
free
move.
throw word, an 8-point
Huh.
game. Miles
Look up.
can't extend for Notre Dame. And somebody open in the fourth seat on the
Turnovers.
TCU bench.
Adept enough. She's got enough skill to bring that up. I'd love to see her just bring it up and start the TCU offense instead of throwing that long ball.
Still very quiet, Taylor Bigby. At their first three and really only one since.
Across the board, between Miles Hidalgo, Van Lith, a lot of playmakers here, and Hidalgo just showed you that right there.
They leave Citron out of it. Like she don't be go out there going to get a buck.
Don't be like Henry, who still washes himself with dirty loofahs and raggy towels. Enter the Manscaped Body Buffer and Body Wash bundle.
One of two for Hidalgo. Pushes this back to 9 for Notre Dame.
Oh,
Van Lith using Bigby.
wow.
Prince back
Fade.
of the
Just go
iron.
straight up. Follow through, make the shot.
And Notre Dame a chance to go into the fourth
You
quarter up
fading
by
for
double
no
digits.
That's I don't like that.
28-second differential shot in
When
game clock.
Players fade for no reason. Making it a
King,
hard
nice
shot
cutoff on the
for-
baseline by Prince.
Dang,
Citron
good
separating
move.
right around Van Lith, but couldn't
You gotta
finish.
finish.
And Emma Nopu tied
Good
up.
move, Citron.
There was a period in the second where TCU looked like they might get it back to a possession. Notre Dame with a response and then a carryover into the third quarter.
No, it was not a good shot.
King missed the jumper, but guess who? Hidalgo. Her 6th rebound of the basketball game. Irish can essentially hold for one. Miles stepping through. A good shot.
They dribbled out
And
the
that's
clock.
all she wrote for the third quarter. Notre
Down
Dame
11.
up by 11 going into the fourth. Irish have 21 points off of TCU's turnovers compared to only for the Horned Frogs off of what's 8 Irish mistakes.
And
Probably
a lot
your
of live
biggest
ball
difference in the
turnovers.
game.
Yes, I believe those live ball turnovers, as Madison Connor hits one, and that's what you want out of a career, is a huge three by your best point shooter, one of the best in the nation. That's how you can chip away at this lead. Matt, one thing I'm going to watch for Notre Dame is since Koval is on the bench with 4 fouls, it changes the dynamic of their offense and also their defense. How are they going to guard Prince in that low block?
And you just see King missing the deep mid-range. So another opportunity quickly for TCU. Prince, good ball movement. Stops again. Connor, opposite wing, backing up. Knew it was going down.
She can get cooking fast, and what the difference was there is Notre Dame trapped on that ball screen, but excellent ball movement and finding the open shooter on the other side on the ball reversal for TCU.
You ran
15
straight
for
into it.
Madison Connor. And foul
You
on
know
the
you can't
Irish.
do that, Hannah.
She doesn't need much space. Hidalgo had her hand down just a smidge, and she was able to do that. Now watch this ball reversal by TCU, making the extra pass. They lead the nation, and second in the nation, I should say, in assists. And it looks like that when you share the basketball and move it in the open space.
Bucket.
Van Lith to the cup. Well, Notre Dame was shot out of a cannon to start this game. TCU
3-point ball game. That's why I
turbocharged
said,
here
bro,
in
they
the
don't
first
go
72
and
seconds of this
kill 'em,
fourth
man.
quarter.
You got the talent, man.
At
Handle
one point,
business.
this was a
You gotta do more
14-point game. It was
on defense and then
53-39
just
Notre
make
Dame at
every
the
possession
3:03
count
mark of the
earlier.
third. And in a matter of about 5 minutes of game action, we're at a one-possession game. But Hidalgo out of the doubt, they draw up something good. 23 now for the sophomore, and Notre Dame back up 5.
She a problem.
But either way, TCU executing at a high level. Van Lith continues, got to the block at the bucket.
If she doesn't have Connor in that corner, that's all her lane.
Yeah, I mean, Madison Connor's 2 threes were what started that run. King gets to Miles on the inbounds. She and Hidalgo and Citron, 47 of the 58 for the 3 double-figure scorers. Prince bodies Hidalgo.
Trying to do or being able to pass to that outlet on the baseline, but they've been able to get underneath the defense and create more action for their offense.
Only the second miss from the free throw line of the night for Hidalgo, who had been 6 of 7. Gets this back to 2 possessions. This is where we remind you that TCU has only led once in this game. We've had 1 tie, 1 lead change. Notre Dame has been in control.
Oh, great play.
95% of it, but Prince on the block to cut it back to 2, 18 for her. Miles got to the basket.
Great.
Notre Dame back up 4.
They were thinking exactly what I was thinking. I was like, we got to get Miles a little bit more active in the game, and she takes it on herself off her pick and roll, finishing at the rim.
Connor
trying to get free, couldn't do it.
What's shorty name? It look like she
Eminoku
playing
got the
in like
step, got
freaking
basket around King.
some bands or something.
What a move,
TCU
big
back
time
to
play
within
there,
2.
Eminoku.
And big time for only her second field goal of the afternoon. Our only tie of the day was 3-3. TCU jumped out 3-0. Notre Dame answered with an Olivia Miles 3. And Irish have been in the lead pretty much ever since. Citron missed it. A chance at a tie or TCU's first lead since 21 seconds into the half. And Van Lith will take the tie.
That's tie?
TCU all the way back.
I didn't think they tied it that quick. I thought it was still down 4.
Have outscored the Irish 22-8 since.
But Matt, what's impressed me the most is the last 4 defensive stops by TCU. They're doing great on the defensive end, one-on-one in their matchups, but then they're closing out with those rebounds, and a lot of that has to do with Prince. That's one of their first buckets in a while today.
Miles breaks our second tie of the afternoon. Second time that she's done that. TCU makes a big play. She comes right back. She had the drive. What was a few minutes ago?
Boy, we got ball game.
Eminoku with a big
We got ball
triple.
game.
And TCU has the lead.
We got a ball game.
Horned Frogs by 1. Miles short on the mid-range.
Prince leading the break.
Van Lith, secondary break. On the kick out, Big B opposite side, yes!
Uh-oh.
What a
Upset
reversal
alert.
of fortunes here in
Upset
the Cayman
alert.
Islands.
They went to
Horned
Cayman
Frogs by
Islands.
4.
4-point ball game. What we got, man?
So impressive. Eminoku and Big B stepping up big for TCU.
Good take.
Hidalgo
Missed the lay.
got all the way to the basket, just no finish. Now you're up 2 possessions. You can take your time, try and get a really good one if you're TCU.
Take a little time off of the clock here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Van Lith
Ooh, good read.
Smelling
What a
blood.
rebound.
Bigby got the offensive rebound. Connor. And that should be off of Notre Dame.
Well, look at TCU. Amanopu knocking down the huge three. Then you got Van Lith creating action, which opens up the lane for Bigby. Huge bucket there. She was the one who put them up against NC State when they were NC State was ranked 13th, so making big plays, and none other than Haley Van Lith. In and out and finish.
Mom and Dad are
NC State when they were in and out and finish.
Mom and Dad are loving it. The comeback in the Cayman Islands. Rallied from 14 down.
Uh-oh, Notre Dame. Uh-oh.
And now in the driver's seat.
Uh-oh.
This is one of those composure plays where they want to get the best shot, best action, and use a little time off the clock.
If they're able to hold on for a victory, it would tie the highest ranked win in program history. December 7th, 2008 against Cal. Prince rattles
And
to
they
the
just
range.
stepping on them,
Has
boy.
been doing it all afternoon. 20 for Sedona Prince.
They
TCU
just
in the
stepping on
driver's
'em.
seat.
Oh, dang, y'all gotta go get a buck.
Bigby tough defense on Miles over there, denying her the ball.
Ah, I
Hidalgo
don't know if I
with
would
a
have went with that
miss.
shot. I don't know if I would have went with that shot.
Van Lith going to use most of the shot clock, and why not? And off target on the three. That would have been the dagger if you needed one unofficially. Instead, Hidalgo getting to the bucket.
Good take.
Previous possession,
Need
so
both
now
of
they're
these.
able to get a couple of free points on the free throw line with the time stopped. And what that's going to allow also, Matt, is that they're going to be able to set their press, and there's none better than Notre Dame playing full court man-to-man defense.
And apparently there was a lane violation there as well. Hidalgo got the first free throw, and then it ended up being a lane violation on Citron.
Sub.
Just to recap. And now Connor fouled. Started the run with what was a big three to open up the fourth quarter. And it's been a different game ever since. Horned Frogs is a team with the two Connor makes. Up by 9 with inside 40 seconds to play.
Oh, yeah.
And Prince says no to Hidalgo. Citron gets the layup. 7-point game and a timeout.
Going to handle the pressure.
For many transfers. But if that was a step, this is a vault or a flying leap forward. Citron missed the short jumper.
Yeah, it's over with, man. Pack them up. Pack them up.
And a quick
Pack 'em
foul
up.
on Madison Connor.
Hey, I said it earlier, man. They just didn't. Notre Dame, they got so much talent, bro. But when you got a team down 10, 12 points, and you got more talent to them, you got to step on them. You got to step. Finish the job. And they just didn't finish, man. They didn't finish. Haley Van Lith and them girls, man, at TCU, I gotta learn their names. They handling business. They upsetting some teams, man. A few upsets already this season, man. Let's get up out of here, dog. Good victory, man. Good victory. Hey.